Hello and welcome to where I live. I'm Master of Blades. Unfortunately, we're having to do this on the back-facing camera because I'm new to this phone. I don't know how to make it swap halfway through a video. So, today we're going to be doing some cooking. What are we cooking? Well, we're cooking this. We're cooking kangaroo mince. Now you may be asking, kangaroo mince? I didn't know you ate kangaroos. Everyone in Australia wants to eat kangaroos. They're delicious. If you don't want to eat kangaroos, there's something wrong with you. Yes, they're cute. They're also a good source of protein, and they're 98% fat-free. Fantastic. And you may see, here's some other ingredients. What could we be making? I will tell you. We are going to be making, and look, here, Uncle Roger, look, it's a wok. You'll be happy. Today, we're going to be cooking spaghetti bolognese. Yes, I realise that's fettuccine. I don't care. And neither should you. So, today I'm going to be showing you. Look, I've already cut off the bottoms of these. That's just a bit of skin. Just already cut off the bottoms of these onions. Yeah, just so that they stand upright. Make sure that you can actually see what I'm cooking. Yes, there we go. Fantastic. Hope you can hear me. Won't know till the recording's done. So today what we're going to do is we're going to cut these lovely onions. So what we do is we top them, we tail them, which I've already done. We cut them in half. We lay them like that. We go halfway through. Short knife. Ooh, cut through too far. That's fine. Who gives? We're in Australia. No one cares. Yeah. Let's have some big rounds. Doesn't really matter. These two, they're getting fried. You're going, fried onion? Why are you frying the onion? Yeah, I fry the onion. These two onions will get fried. One of the onions will get done in the meat. Oh, before I forget, gotta put the water on. Gotta put the water on. And the water's on. Fantastic. Now, as I said, this onion and its ugly brother, had to cut out a bit of soft there, that's fine. And its ugly brother, they're getting fried. So, why am I doing that? Because it adds a nice flavour to the food. Doesn't really matter, you can do it without frying these onions and just put all three onions in with your meat. It's up to personal preference. I'm not going to come to your house and beat you with a skillet because you didn't do it my special method. What's my name? Jamie Oliver. Yes, we're throwing shade at Jamie. Chili jam. No, thank you. Everything he makes is my nightmare food. Don't ask me why I have nightmares about Jamie Oliver's food. I think it's from watching Uncle Roger's videos. Before that, I was blissfully unaware of Jamie Oliver's food. Now, the terror of his food is all I can think of. So yes, we're going to put this on to boil. That'll work. I would put some salt in it actually. Salt doesn't really do anything, some people say. I say it's what I was always taught. So we get good handful of salt. We put that in the water. Yes, I'm a bit like a raccoon. I wash my hands constantly. This is sunflower oil. That's a capful of sunflower oil. that's another capful of sunflower oil. Because half that sunflower oil went on the floor. But that's okay. I cleaned the floor, it's clean. So, we've got that onion. So what we're going to do is we're going to reserve that, probably in a bigger bowl than that. We're going to reserve that in a bowl. Because otherwise, it's in the way. There we go. Yes, I know, messy, 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 but that's okay. The sink's clean. Okay, that's going in the bin. But the sink is clean. It's just that went down the drain. Sink's clean, drain maybe not so. So now we take this onion, because this onion, that's going to be in with the meat, remember. In with the meat and all the other spices. Maybe just tail that, cut her in half, go halfway through, and halfway through, and because we remember this time, we go down almost at the end, so we make little squares. They cook down better in the sauce. Because we're frying the others, it doesn't matter that they're in larger pieces, but these ones are going in a sauce, and I don't know about you, but I don't like big pieces of onion. So we'll do these nice small little squares. Nice small little squares. Now some of you may be thinking, hang on, I've seen his other video. That's not where he lives. He lives in a caravan with a hanging table. Yes, that's true. That's because I started this video and I said that I was at my mother's place. But unfortunately, I can't work I don't know how to make the video change from selfie camera to front-facing camera, and because I started on selfie camera, I couldn't fix it. But I dropped my phone in the park over Christmas, and it's still broken. I have not got a new one, so that'll do. That'll be good. Now into the wok goes oil. You never want to heat up a cold wok with nothing in it, so that's too much oil. That's a big amount of oil. It's about a 2 capfuls, tablespoons. This is sunflower oil. Don't know if you can see it. Again, can't see what's on the screen. Now, you may be looking at all this stuff and thinking, he's going to put all of that into that roux mince. It needs all of that flavour. No, it doesn't actually need all that flavour. That's paprika. It doesn't actually need all that flavour. Roux mince is very strong and it has an unusual flavour. It's like very good beef. I've been told it's like very good beef. I don't actually like beef because I was raised on kangaroo mince. And I think that beef mince is just about the most nasty thing you can come across, because it's greasy and it's weak flavoured, doesn't seem to have a flavour it's aware of. And it leaves a greasy film on your tongue. Now I much prefer the roux mince because the roux mince is good for you, it's healthy, rich in protein and iron, all those good stuff. So I also recommend that if you have the opportunity, get yourself a cast iron fry pan. Yes, it's for the same reason that An Asian man would tell you to get a wok. It's because it's my traditional cooking instrument. Now, that's a tail. What you can hear over there is that lovely oil in the wok. Sunflower oil. Into that goes our onions. Just in like that. And you might have noticed that I had in my shot earlier tongs. Why do you have tongs? Well, these are rubber coated tongs so they don't get in the way of the Teflon. Now, I know that's not the right way to say that, but bear with me. What I mean is, never use metal utensils on Teflon. Why don't you use metal utensils on Teflon? I hear someone with an IQ of 3 ask. Well, what happens if you use Teflon with metal utensils? You no longer have Teflon. You have a mistake. Because it will tear off your Teflon, no matter how gentle you are. The slightest touch just sends it bye-byes. So, silicone coated. So, if my camera works a bit shoddy, it's because this is my first video on a phone that wasn't just filming fireworks. So unfortunately, I am going to drift just a little bit to the right. Why drift to the right? Because I'm left-handed, and that's the way it hangs. The men will get that joke. The men will get that joke. Okay, that's going to fry off just nicely. Now I have that on a very high heat. See, look at all that bright blue flames. Now, what we're going to do while that is frying away is we're going to open this packet of kangaroo mince. Now this is a kilo. You probably won't need a kilo. This kilo will probably do 4 meals, 5 meals. Basically 200 grams of meat per person is plenty. If you are a big guy like me, I'm 6.5 feet tall, so I do eat a little bit more, so I will probably have just a bit more in my serving. If you hear random snoring in the background, that's my mother. She's taking an afternoon nap. The joys of being old, I think not. She'll slap me if she sees I've called her old. No, she did a lot of gardening today, and she's just feeling a bit tired, so if you hear snoring, that's why. Now these packets are actually resealable. They have a Ziploc tie, but behind that is a plastic membrane that you have to cut through to open the packet. Very annoying, especially the first time, and you open it along the tear hairline. You don't realise, and you will spend 15 minutes squeezing the packet trying to get the mince out, going, it's gone all hard. No, that's not from personal experience. What are you talking about? I'd never do that. Never. Never me. No, it wasn't me. It was definitely me. So, there we go. That's the salt. That's probably all the salt we'll use, because roux meat doesn't need a lot of seasonings. Not really. It's got a good flavour, as I said, but there is a catch. When you cook it, it will smell off. And what I mean by that, it will smell like the funk of over-aged beef. When Guga Foods and his fellow food snobs talk about the funk on their latest disaster, what they are talking about is a sort of old smell. Smells old, smells rough. gets in your nose and doesn't let go. And that's kind of what cooking kangaroo smells like. And if you're not used to it and your neighbours aren't used to it, this is a good way to get rid of your neighbours. This is how Australians get rid of their neighbours. I know that Uncle Roger swears by fish paste, but cooking kangaroo mince works just as well. That will send people running because they will think that you have slaughtered a cow and it's dying in your back room. But I love it. I love it because I grew up with it. My mother was a wonderful provider. She worked 3 jobs at a time and all on her own. Never had a father, not really. Stepfather, but he was a dick. Oh, just got demonetised. Oh well. Never mind. Have to make more videos. First video already demonetised. My channel, not safe for work. I'm Australian. We swear a lot. My girlfriend's New Zealander. Apparently they don't. That was a shock. That's just going just fine. You can see not a whole lot of colour on the onions yet, but it'll get there actually. Let's see. There we go. That's a more true to life colour. I've just adjusted my colour settings just. Oh, that's a bit too far. Just a touch. There we go. That's it. That's true to life. Right. That's gonna take me a few minutes just to brown off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the recording and bring you back when the onion has finished browning off. Well, I could do that. I could. It's a thing I could do. I could pause the video. But here's the thing. Everyone pauses their videos. They don't show you them actually doing the thing. It's always, here's the thing, into the thing, here's the thing, into the thing, here's the thing, into the thing. And then it's 60 seconds long. And you go, okay, but how long do you blend all that for? And it's like, until it's smooth and creamy. And you're like, there was bricks in that. How did you smooth that out? I make me laugh. If I don't make you laugh, that's not my problem. So, yeah. These are the jokes. If you don't like them, there are other channels. There are. Luckily, I'm not super popular. I'm not got 8 million subscribers. I have, I think at last count, one subscriber, and it's not my girlfriend. It was a YouTube accident from 10 years or so ago. Yes, I've been with YouTube since YouTube began, basically. Gonna turn that down just a smidge. Just a smidge. Okay. Now we've got a boil on the water. That's good. You can see that's what we want from our water. We want it to be boiling. That's boiling water. It's not furiously boiling, but it is boiling. Unfortunately, my stove is a little bit big for 2 pots. Well, 1 pot and a wok. Ignore that, it's all my cat's dishes. Yes, I have that many dishes for my cat. She's elsewhere. Yeah, I know, cat videos. Always looking for the likes. Unfortunately, she's not in this video. So, good rule of thumb is the rule of thumb. If your thumb and your pasta are about the same size, that's enough for one person. So, one person, two persons and an accident. Just two slivers. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to try and replace it. So, only got the one viewer, so it doesn't matter if you don't laugh at my jokes, because I'm just doing this for me. I wanted to make a video where someone just cooked, maybe told some jokes, didn't mess around with a complicated 12-step process of this is how and this is why. Look, it's very simple. You put water in a pot, you add some fettuccine to it. In this case, you put lid on the pot. Yes, I know, that's going to boil over in a minute. I'm prepared, I know. It's going to. So, what we're going to do, before we add any of the spices, before we add any of the spices to this lovely fried onion, which I think is just about ready for me to do this. Yeah, what do you reckon, gang? You reckon that's good enough for me. Good enough for government workers, I like to say. So, this has been washed out. Don't let me forget I've put that there. And you can see it's a lovely, vibrant red. It's not grey. It's not grey, it's red. It's red and delicious. Mmm. Smell that. Yeah, that smells delicious if you've eaten kangaroo before. Absolutely gnarly if you haven't. Oh dear. But no, I watch some videos of people cooking and I just can't help but think that they're going about it all wrong. They fiddle and fart ass around. Sorry, that's an Australian saying. What I mean is that they don't get down to it. They don't cook. They spend more time talking to the camera before ever touching the ingredients. I figure I can talk while I'm touching the ingredients. See, what I'm doing now is I'm just breaking up the mince, otherwise it's going to land in that hot oil and just glomp together. And we don't want it to glomp together because it's got a lot of tendon in it. Well, all this white is tendon. Because meat, the kangaroo meat doesn't have a lot of fat. If you want something like kangaroo meat and you're in another country, like say America or China or Malaysia, I would strongly recommend leaving immediately, taking the first flight to Australia and living here, because how can you live in those countries? So many of you people get shot. You get shot by criminals, by the police looking for criminals, by the police who think you're a criminal, and nothing gets done about it. We had a police shooting here, and the police were disgusted when the guy got off. They thought it was a travesty of justice that he was not arrested. There we go. That is lovely. So, to that goes our mince. Mince, in you go. Goodbye. Now, I'm going to have to go over there. Yes, over there, because I have to work. I'm going to turn It's right down. What I'm doing now is I'm breaking this up with the tongs, because it went in as a big ball. And you're going, but wasn't that the exact thing that you said it would have done if you hadn't? Yes, it was. But it's different, because what I had done was I'd realigned all those tendons so that they would nicely pull apart. They weren't stuck to each other. And that's what you want to avoid, because otherwise you end up with a clump. And yes, some of you may go, oh, those onions looked a bit burnt. But I'm used to Bunnings sausage sizzle. Now, if you're from another country, you don't know what a Bunnings is. Well, a Bunnings is a giant fair trade Walmart. And what I mean by that is they pay their workers a living wage. They do not pay minimum wage at even their entry-level positions. They pay above minimum wage. And my minimum wage here in this country is a lot better than your minimum wage wherever you are, unless you're in New Zealand or Canada. Because, of course, New Zealand and Canada, you're lovely countries and you delight in showing up Australia for our shortcomings. But I've got two things to say to that. For the Canadians, it's, you're just too nice. And for the New Zealanders, it's, bah. My New Zealand friends know what that means. My New Zealand friends are all saying, yeah, it's because his father was a sheep. That's an in-joke between Australians and New Zealanders. We don't mean any harm by it. We don't take it seriously. It is just a bit of fun. Just a bit of fun. Because we know that we're both. Anyway. Ah dear, it goes both ways. We tell the same jokes about each other basically. We are the only two countries with Anzac cookies. We're the only two countries with Anzac soldiers. And won't that be a tragedy when there are none left? No one to march in the parade. Oh well. Unfortunately, history doesn't close doors. So, what I've done is I've just browned off this mince. See, there you go. That's nice and brown. Well, it's brown to my eyes anyway. Might not be brown to this camera, but it's brown to my eyes. So, into that goes margarine. We take the margarine, get a decent handful into the meat. We get the minced garlic. We open it up. Because it's been opened, give it a bit of a stir. This is a teaspoon, we take a teaspoon, we add 2 teaspoons. There you go, there's your garlic. Here we have oregano, or oregano, or however you want to say it. And that, again, bit of a handful into the meat. Now that's done, we take the paprika stand away. Paprika, not just a condiment, also useful for holding up phones. Again, you get about half a handful. For those of you who don't have my hands, that's about 2 tablespoons. Maybe 1.5. 1.5 tablespoons, call it. And that goes in. Now, what I did say was that these onions were going to go into that mince, and they will. They will. But do you know what goes into that mince first? Cole's Mum's pizza sauce. Mum's sauce pizza sauce. Now that goes in. I will actually show you this. because I'm not serving this on my hand. Okay. And slop, 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 slop. And that was that much. About 3/4 of a 415 gram jar, squeezy bottle. And in go the onions. In go the onions. Some of the onions did not go in, some of the onions made a bid for freedom. Yes, it is only one room. Well, technically it's 2 rooms. It's a caravan and an annex, let's be fair. This is actually the larger of the 2. I live in the smaller one. Sorry, I've faded off into the side again. Just make sure that you get all of your mince, meat, sauce, spice, all of it nicely mixed together. Yes. And there we go. That's all going through. Yeah. I should really look through the camera rather than look around the camera. Yeah, the camera shows the same things your eye does. Master of Blades, where would you be? Now, the reason I'm called Master of Blades is because I was a 14-year-old kid. No, I wasn't even 14. How old was I? I was very young. I'm 32 now. You can work it out. I was on YouTube in the first year, so there we go. I've dated myself. Because Master is the title given to a young nobleman. A young nobleman. This would not be the heir in line for the throne, for the family seat. It would be the second son, Master. He would be Master. Now, my last name is Blades, so at the time I was Master of Blades. Master, not Lord, because that would be my grandfather at the time. Master of Blades. Fun facts about the YouTube channels you watch. Yes. Of course, if you watched my other video, that was a request for you to please, please, please send me some money, for I am a poor boy. Sorry, yes, I know. The camera keeps changing. I don't know. I don't actually know how this will show up on YouTube, whether it will be vertical or horizontal or some horrible mix betwixt. But that's for me to find out and for you to already know. You're going, yeah, that would have been nice to know 20 minutes ago before you changed the camera angle. Now, that pasta, not quite cooked. Not quite cooked. Lid. Keeps the steam in. Okay, you've just put... No, the edge is plastic on that. Only looks metal. It's fine. Now, while we wait for that to finish cooking, I apologise for my political slant, my crude jokes, my swearing, my bad behaviour, and the fact I don't have proper lighting. But, frankly, my dear, this goes on after it's cooked. So, don't know if I needed to cook all of this, but it should be fine. It is in a resealable bag, and if it's a bit nah, we're fine. 19th of March, this was good too, and it's been frozen till today. For those not aware, it's the 12th today. But Yeah, so that's cooking, and now we do clean up so that everything's clean for the next time we need to cook. Shouldn't need to tell you this, you are adults, I assume, but if you're not adults or you are a little bit special, and I don't mean special in the way I'm special, I mean special in the way they used to make PSAs about, then you need to be told to clean up after yourself. Yes, it was never the kid with developmental issues. It was always very strange normal people. Yes, very strange normal people, you are a danger to yourselves and others. And no, you don't get an out because you never bothered to learn. You're not Forrest Gump, you're Lieutenant Dan. No, that's not fair. Lieutenant Dan actually lost his legs in a war. You lost your legs playing on train tracks. I can make that joke. My cousin lost his leg on train tracks. He makes that joke. Yeah, go ahead, report me to YouTube. What are they going to do? Demonetize me? Ban me? Oh no, I'll have to make a new account. Actually, that would be annoying. I have so many videos saved on playlists. I'd never be able to find them all again. Please don't get me kicked off YouTube. I'd have to find all my favourite songs again. I have 5,000 liked videos, please. You know how long it's going to take me to find all those again? While I'm waiting for this to finish cooking, I will just say that, yes, that's done now. I will just say that you should like and subscribe. Yes, I am putting a bit of the pasta water into the pot just to add some liquid because the mixture was a bit dry. You might find it's a bit dry, and the hot, starchy deliciousness that is the pasta water will just thicken it up just a little bit and give it just a bit of moisture so that it doesn't taste like Australia. Dehydrated. Oh dear. Dehydrated and burnt and a little bit wet in places. I could have just described Australia at any point in the last 200 years. Dehydrated, wet in places, yeah, and full of kangaroo. For anyone wondering why I didn't use a different meat, it's because kangaroo's cheap. But no, if you do live in another country, a good substitute for kangaroo is beef that has all the fat taken out, and a little bit of chicken mince. That'll give it a bit of flavour. Also, if you want to boil down some beef stock until it's very thick, or if you want to make up beef stock and you're making it from a powder, just halve the amount of water before you add it to your beef mince, and that'll give it some flavour. Right, that's that done. Now we use the lid, strain. God, this takes forever when you're not doing it on fast forward. There we go. Come on, come on. Out you come. Good boy. Out you come. Go for a wee. If you're in Perth and you're looking for for someone to look after your dog, that's me. Send me a description of your dog and I will tell you how much I will charge to look after it. Because if it's a Chihuahua, I will charge you extra. They bite. Yes, I know. Controversial. Oh, but it's so cute. It's trying to eat my face. Oh, he's just playing. He drew blood. Wasn't actually a Chihuahua, it was a Maltese Terrier. But it's funnier if it's a Chihuahua. Now, get out a bowl. In this case, this bowl. We take the bowl, we put the thing, we take the thing, we put it there, we take this, we put it here, we take these, we swirl. We get a bigger spoon because we cannot pick up spaghetti bolognese with tongs. We realise that's a metal spoon and we just told you vehemently not to use those, so we get out a black plastic spoon. Take that, put it on the meat. On the meat, not under the meat, on the meat. If you are the sort of person who puts their meat under their spaghetti, I'm so sorry what happened to you. And is it too late to call child services? Because that shows that there was something seriously wrong. Right, there we go. That's what it looks like. Yeah, I don't have a lazy Susan. There we go. Doesn't that look nice? And it has been 42 minutes and your dinner will be served. And with very little mucking around, very little ingredients. I mean, I think we used, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients. 5 ingredients, not including the pasta and the mince and the onion. So 3 extra. 5 spice. There we go. Okay, if you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, I don't care, go away. I look forward to seeing you in the future, and I hope to make a lot more videos. Bye for now.